So the two of us met at the Bergen International Festival, where we shared the stage at the Björn Thorson's Guitar Fest. And we were hanging out backstage. He was playing his classical guitar, I was shredding around with my 7-string, and we were kind of like, why don't the two of us work together or something. So after the festival he sent me a message and he was like, well, you know, what should we do, what should we work on? And I was like, well, why don't we try to do something classical?
This project started as well, more as a proposition than anything. So we were in Mono Valley, recording down at the lovely studio there in Wales, doing the I'm the Commander-in-Chief single, which was really, really good fun. And they came through the question saying, have you done classical work before? And yeah, I was like, yeah, of course, I've done string sections and, you know, brass sections. And then they said, oh, well, do you fancy doing something in that world with the Commander? And I was like, yeah, that sounds exciting.
Great idea, because I grew up listening to this song countless times, and but then again I knew it was going to be quite a challenge, because it is an extremely, how should I put it, very tricky and impressive song to play. So then Elizabeth and I were like, oh, we wonder what Thomas is going to say about this.
My first immediate thought was, okay, well, yeah, we can play this, but you mean, oh, it's only the ending, right? It's a, you know, it's a rhythmical, cool, you know, technical part of the song, which is, yeah, sure. I was very sure that that was what they meant. So, but of course not. They wanted to do the whole piece, the whole thing.
Everything.
Yeah. So, oh shit. No, okay, but yeah, well, let's try it and figure out what happens.
They, even from me, they kept it quite under wraps, but I was quite happy to not know too much about the project, because I thought it would be exciting. The less I knew, the more of a surprise it would be.
You know, the challenge was first of all to just go through the whole score and try to transfer the notes to the guitars and see if it was actually possible to get through the whole thing. So, you know, we worked on it, and you know, little by little we started, you know, dividing the notes into each guitar and figure out who could play what. You know, the classic guitar and the metal guitar are very different. So I think we figured out a way to, you know, emphasize the metal guitar and also the classic guitar, and use all the different techniques, and of course bringing up the essence of the music.
What's really important to remember whenever I've worked with the Commander is that everything that you hear on a record is a performance. We don't go into the world of too much Pro Tools trickery. We don't cut and paste. We don't auto-tune. We don't beat detective. It's all that you hear is all a performance. And what was great on the recording process for this was that Thomas, while he was as much up for the idea of keeping it as a whole performance as both me and the Commander were, and what you hear on the record is all natural.
So we had to practice on Skype. So it worked more as a, you know, presentation of our progress in the work. So I would listen to you play, you know, what you have figured out, and I would show you what I could do in the classic guitar, and we would give each other, you know, guidelines and thoughts and feedback on what we had done. So yeah, I was thinking, okay, this can be, you know, it's starting to take shape. You know, we did all the runs, and we did the melodies, and we did the chords where we needed to, and but we couldn't play together at the same time.
No,
because you can't do that on Skype. It's just
So it was great, you know, when we finally got to meet one another, and you could actually sit down and practice on getting it tight. Because the thing with this this piece of music is that when you listen to the recordings that other musicians have done of it, you know, they don't have a metronome or anything like that in the front section of the song or in the middle part of the song. So to actually get it tight and to sound like one tight unit, that was quite a challenge. We had 48 hours to do that, and we were sitting practicing non-stop. And we managed to do it.
Yeah, we did. You know,
to do this, I feel really privileged to sit in front of the desk and try and make it all happen and bring it all together. We've got two fantastic guitarists doing what they do best, and not only are they playing really, really well, they're raising the bar for what's achievable for guitar music. It's really exciting to be the guy that's been lucky enough to sit here, record it and mix it. So.
Yeah, so we really had to like build up, you know, our strength to be able to play this. And it involved a lot of problem solving as well. You know, I had to think, okay, how am I going to be able to play this as fast as it is meant to be played on a guitar then, you know. So I put like a lot of tapping and like sweep and stuff in this piece as well to be able to play the exact same notes and play just as fast, sometimes even faster than you know, the recording that I was using as a reference.
She was very sneaky, you know, because I sat home and worked with the most difficult passage in part of the music and said, okay, this is the maximum speed we can do it, because, you know, I can't play this any faster. So yeah, we did that, and the sound engineer typed in you know, the click track and the end. So yeah, we just got in and took each part, but managed, it was, for some reason, it was a bit harder when I sat down in the recording room and you know, tried to get through this thing. Yeah, of course, it turns out you know, she just pressed up the tempo a little bit, and I almost broke my hand over this.
You did it. That's the only thing I've managed.
I just really hope that the song is really well received. I think it's been really exciting because it's something that I don't think anyone's going to expect from either player, to come together in such a way and work on a piece of music like this, and to bring elements from the Commander's world and then to bring elements from Thomas's world and bring them together. And I really hope that people are open-minded enough to sit back and go, well, these are just two superb musicians working really well together to make something unique and special.
It's a very special recording because this piece of music has never been recorded by two guitars. There has never been, you know, like a release of this piece like what we're doing. You know, you can't really find any like proper live recordings of someone playing, you know, the whole song correctly and right. You know, you can't really find. This is a one-of-a-kind type of thing, which is always very exciting. And as I already said, you know, you don't really see classical, you know, a classical guitarist going up against a metal guitarist. And I mean, my sound is, I mean, it's clean throughout the whole piece. But what we're doing here is certainly something very unique. And
we listened through the whole recording when we were done, and you know, I was really excited about it. I thought, you know, it actually exceeded my, you know, expectations and hopes for this. So yeah, I think it's really awesome.
yeah, I'm extremely happy to.